And that's how I lost my virginity to a bee.
That was a fantastic story. For those of you wondering what's going on, you should check out the last part.
Indeed.
So anyway, now we carry on with this part. Now this is where the Werehog stages show off more of their platforming roots, which I really like. Like, I love this section. Even if it's, like, very short and simplistic, I just really like the fact that you're, like, you know, getting, like, scaling these buildings and whatnot.
I always love parts like this in video games where the objective is basically climb up not a complete wall, but sort of a wall type thing. Like, there's a really good stage later on where you're in Chunnan where you're basically
watch
just
this.
climbing up.
Watch these skills.
Oh, wow.
These knob things always pissed me off, like, in both versions.
Why does he spin around?
Seriously, okay, I'm sorry, but can you just fuck off, Chip? I'm sorry, I love you, dude, but really, please, just go away for, like, let me just do this by myself.
Look, Chip, dear my friend, would you please stop? Just stop, please?
This must be the sky deck.
I like that on these grabbable objects. Well, for one thing, I do like how they made them distinct. Oh my god, that bell. That bell always pissed me off. I spent so long trying to figure out what its purpose was. I was like hitting it, trying to make rings come out. No, it's just scenery dressing.
I know, you saw me just try to hit it. Hopefully I was going to do something important and amazing and secret, but no. I like this view.
I really do wish I could just explore this city.
Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like just to walk down this road as like a real person and just, you know, take a nice stroll. I mean, of course, if you go to Mykonos, you can experience this place in reality. Ho tourist.
It's not quite as good. This is a more pretty version of Mykonos.
These guys,
God,
seriously.
that move is satisfying. Why do these guys have so much health, too?
Well, I mean, to be honest, playing as the Werehog actually... Look at that, standing on the bastard. I have a habit of accidentally standing on enemies. What I was gonna say is that the Werehog actually becomes more fun to play the more he levels up. Like, at first, even in this version, like when I first played this, I was kind of unimpressed with him, but as I got more moves and became, you know, I could hit harder and whatnot, and enemies died quicker at my claws, it actually became more and more fun as,
yeah,
you know,
more of just it became, because the game becomes more based around lots of enemies, I'd say, than, you know, really tough enemies. Not entirely, but to some extent.
Right, and it does actually get very fun later on.
Something else I think is interesting to point out. In the other version, you fight Eggman's robots as the Werehog. In this version, you fight some fan enemies, but other than that, you never fight Eggman's robots as the Werehog.
Yeah, I was wondering this actually while I was recording, that I never noticed this before, but you really don't fight, like, you fight barely any Eggman robots, which always kind of weirded me out when I first saw them in the HD versions. Wonder why they decided to do that. I mean, I guess it's slightly more relevant to have the night enemies at night, you know? Because that's sort of like where you mainly should see them. The Eggman enemies are only... Because I think the night enemies are still, like, technically...
No, don't waste... Oh, you... There are bees coming up.
I know, I'm sorry. But, as I was saying, like, I guess it sort of makes sense because, you know, Eggman should be attacking when the night enemy, when Dark Gaia doesn't have a chance to attack during the day, and then he should, like, let Dark Gaia take care of Sonic at night.
Yeah, he doesn't need to waste enemies at night, he can just let Dark Gaia minions do their thing.
Right.
I do have a problem with this fight, though. It's so hard to see enemies with these fucking poles blocking the camera all the time.
It really, I don't get this, but I think you can still see Sonic behind the poles like a silhouette.
Yeah, when you go behind a wall or something in night stages, they have a really nice touch where they go invisible, but it's, yeah, like there, but still, it's all... Ugh. God damn, the bees are bastards.
I was actually desperately trying to activate Unleashed mode right now, but I didn't realize I'm like 1 pixel off.
Yeah. Oh, that's something else we can say. Unleashed mode in this looks so freaking cool. Just the particle effect around him looks amazing. Much better than in the other version.
I don't think
you can actually finish the level with Unleashed mode activated, and it looks so fucking awesome.
I honestly didn't really use Unleashed mode in either version that much. Like, unless I knew it that I was like really screwed, I wouldn't really go for it.
I tended to just use it at the end.
Look at this. I don't need no grabbing pole.
At least you got this item. There are so many items you've missed, and every time I just cry a little.
Well, I mean, I actually didn't even know that was there. I'm just sort of like exploring the level for my. Like, I haven't played this version in ages. I didn't even really practice.
Neither did I. I still found all the items.
Well, shut up, Eric. Look at this. Imagine if, like, you were making like a really risky jump and then shit just comes out of nowhere. It tells you something you already know, and then you miss that jump because of him. Like, I think this is where most of the Chip hate stems from, just because he's like pretty much like the Navi of this game.
Well, only in the earlier stages, not so much in the later stages. Who maintains that? Oh, I suppose there's a door there, but still, I was gonna say, what human being actually comes to this location and takes care of that tree?
Yeah.
Only one item. Only one.
I only need one. I'm not greedy. I'll leave that for other people wandering around breaking capsules. I wonder how big those capsules would be like in real life.
About 1.5 feet, I'd say.
I like the way this one starts out, like just like you're in this valley.
Well, you went through that door, and you are now at the world's biggest pet cemetery. Look at all these items you're not collecting. God damn it, Pedia.
Shut up.
See, I spent so long in this stage just exploring every little nook and cranny.
Well, if I did that, Eric would be commenting over this one, like, freaking, this one huge level for, like, I don't know, 5 more parts.
Oh, look at that view.
It is pretty nice. I still kind of wish, like, there was one version of this game that had more of, like, a truly night aesthetic. Not really, like, a dark Gaia thing, but, like, you just, you know, it was more based on, you know, the lack of color and just blackness, not really purple or blue or anything. That's kind of what I want to see. I mean, that's what I did when I was editing part 1. I actually took that night CGI cutscene and I color corrected it to, like, remove a lot of the blue in the background, like a lot of the ambient light and whatnot, and made it, like, really, like, dark and black based. Like, not invisibly dark. I didn't just turn the brightness down, but, like, I subtracted a lot of color. It actually looked really cool in my opinion.
Yes, in your opinion.
Of course.
This building does not look structurally sound. I know it's a game and I know it's not going to happen, but I'm already, in-game, I'm always really nervous to go under that building, because I'm afraid it will, like, collapse on top of me.
This huge cylinder just, like, freaking plunked on top of these, like, toothpick-like pillars.
Well, there's another reason I'm always scared to go in this building. I think you'll see why in a second.
Bees! Oh, God.
That, and I don't like the design of the bees.
Yeah, I know, I was about to say...
as good a design as the other Gaia minions.
They look a lot more they look not chemical, what am I saying? They look a lot more mechanical. Like, the others at least has, like, some sort of organic design to them. These guys just look mechanical, and I don't like that.
And none of the other ones are really based around an existing animal like that.
Yeah.
They're, except for the wizards, who we'll get to when we get to them, are all pretty abstract. And you don't actually have to go in this room, it's just a trap and you have no reason to go in here.
Yes, I just felt like showing off how I just wanted to warn the viewers not to go in there for when they play.
See, when I just saw that room, I figured, oh, that's gonna be a trap, and came around and came through this door and back to break all the jars. One thing about here, it's so hard to jump over. You can't jump over those walls for the most part. You have to break the doors.
Sonic just motherfucking hates architecture. Rah! I'm just sort of checking, I'm just scanning this room from here to see if there's anything of interest, and it turns out the last key is in there. Of course we know what's gonna happen, though. Look at that. Like, see, this is kind of what I mean. Like, while I do prefer the overall run just because it feels like it has some sort of weight to it, it still gets really kind of annoying when Sonic just freaking, like, flings himself.
See, I like that. I enjoyed the jumps. I made good use of them. They gave me more control around, you know, making corners or changing directions, stuff like that.
Still better than the HD version, but, you know. Look at this. Look at that. Sonic's such a badass. Just freaking slams right through those freaking boxes and whatnot with his forehead.
I actually like the animation of him running on all fours, too.
I like how spastic you can make him while he's running, just like constantly changing direction.
God, that view's gorgeous. I really wish they had capsules in the HD version. I miss them so much.
Yeah, they haven't appeared, like, I don't think they've appeared in any Sonic game as of late. Well, no, Generations, I believe they made.
There were, monitors in Classic Sonic, but there weren't any capsules. Also, we're introduced to the first of the larger minions, who I prefer their design. They look really cool in my opinion.
So what's your opinion on the battle music?
It's a good song, but it shouldn't be in the game. The night music's good and amazing, and this just got really obnoxious.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, it's good like the first couple times you hear it, but it just gets so intrusive. It's like you just... I love the night stage music. It sounds like really ambient, and, you know, does a great job of setting the mood of everything. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble hitting this one guy, but whatever. But, like, hearing it every 2 seconds, like, especially in the HD version, hearing it every 2 seconds gets really annoying. Mm. It's sad because I actually really prefer the night stage music to the day stage music for the most part.
Same.
I mean, because the thing with the day stage music is it all just sounds like it has the same beat with a couple of, like, flavored instruments put over it. Well, this actually has, like, each of them has an original composition and everything.
Now, something interesting here in the HD version, the cutscene you're about to see plays before the night level, and then the cutscene after it plays at the end. And, you know, the locations you actually... Like, this is where the night stage level ends, in this little arena here. But they didn't do that in these levels, so they just played both cutscenes at the end of the level.
I still don't understand why... I mean, we see that Tails flies away from these guys, but why doesn't he just run off further, seriously?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe that, like, barrier that prevents... And look, no boss battle. This kind of disappointed me. It's such an awkward transition.
Yeah, that really is. I was totally... oh god, here's a big boss fight. Oh. No.
Here's the big boss fight. Werehog.
What are you doing out here?
Sonic. Look how different this looks to the actual gameplay, though.
I know, it does do a good job of drawing comparisons. Like, this, I mean, it looks similar, but you can still see a lot of differences. Not just in, like, in the amount of polygons, but just in the amount of design. Has a different look
the night
to it.
sky is totally different and looks far superior in the other version.
I'll bet that means that you turning into that and the planet breaking apart are somehow related.
This cutscene has fantastic music, by the way.
About that, I think I know someone who might know something about.
So Tails' voice acting, he actually sounds like a way. See what Chip's doing in the background there? That's what I love him most for. Like, I love when he's being like all comedic, but mostly like in sort of silent slapsticky humor. When he's like yelling at the camera, he kind of loses his appeal to me.
Really, I didn't like his little slapstick. That was probably my least favorite part about him.
An easy jog if the planet weren't broken.
No problem.
Sonic can just jog over oceans.
I like that they made the tornado red again, but I actually don't like its design. It looks a bit too future-y, I guess. I don't know, just...
I can sort of see what you mean. And thank God the Wii version doesn't have that retarded QTE minigame thing with Tails.
Fuck. Look at Chip. I mean, Sonic is, you know, he has that little thing to hold on, and he has, like, super traction shoes or something. Chip's gonna get, like, blown back and just lost forever.
And we return... Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Also, this global map looks a lot cooler than the other version, especially when it's all broken apart.